announcing Reluctantly Supernatural, a new and insightful podcast dealing with the issue of God's spiritual gifts in today's world. In this segment, Dr. Wade Goodall interviews hosts Mark Cowper-Smith and Bob Maddox as they share their personal experiences and reasons for starting this podcast.
1 Corinthians 14, it talks about prophets are judged by prophets. And so that's unbiased prophets. That's not your best buddy. That's not your best friend that you're laughing with. You're judged by an unbiased prophet on whether this is a word from God or not. And then if it's not, you're counseled by that other wise person. And so it's meant to flow in this kind of wisdom. But Bob, you've had some great thoughts on that topic of how do these people get wrong and then disillusion people? Then people are fearful. And it really jars people's faith.
I think that's going to be one of the big challenges facing the church in every area right now, because we've had one of our greatest apologetic leaders who was very admired, was very much in the public arena, speaking for God. And we discovered that his life was far short of what it should have been. And I wrote a whole chapter on, I gave the example of what happens with the young prophet who comes to the king and has the word of the Lord, and then there's a miracle. And but God's given him a specific word and tells him, don't stop on your way home, go straight back, And then another prophet, older prophet, comes and convinces him to not follow the conviction that God's laid on him, and he ends up dead. And I think that's where we can have a great word. It can be very accurate and powerful, but if there's not integrity in our lives, then it brings forth death. And sad to say, that's the challenge. So we talk about the importance of character in the book, because the gifts of the Spirit are without repentance. God gives gifts. We know the story of Samson and others like that in the Bible. And the gift seems to operate even after the person has departed from their integrity.
Please plan on watching more of these insightful programs as Dr. Goodall interviews our hosts concerning God's power encounters in today's world. We invite you to subscribe to Reluctantly Supernatural so you can watch our upcoming podcasts where we will be interviewing church leaders and members about their experiences in the realm of God's supernatural gifts.